is we need to spend more money than what they gave us. But if you don't listen to that, if I don't say that to you, you can't listen to it. So I'm understanding from this discussion, I've got your attention. I'm going to need that kind of help. We are going to need that kind of help to work this process through the House and to the governor's office.
And this bill spends $15 million less than the House's bill, correct?
It's about $15 to $18 million.
And so that is a decision that we in the Senate with this bill have made to drop $15 to $18 million less than what the House has recommended. And so I guess my question is, I know you're tying this in with this $5.99 billion ceiling. Can you give me any idea, or have they given you any idea of where that extra $15 million to $18 million that we're taking from this budget, which I know you passionately believe is in the values of this system, and where are we putting that money?
Well,
so who's getting the extra $15 million if you're pulling it from this?
There are other options that are good ones and some that are more difficult. But the easiest option, Senator Children, the easiest option is to understand that we have $400 million in our ending balance. That is the highest ending balance we have ever had in the 20 years I've been here. So when I ask for 3% of it, less than that, 2.5%, to solidify and to secure the safety net for our citizens, I don't think that's a hard ask. I don't think that's too difficult. Plus, we have reserve accounts that could be used for emergencies. In some cases, would fit under the categories that we can shift money around. There are other priorities that the House have that we have not funded, and priorities we have that the House has not funded. So that gap of $15, $18 million is actually larger depending on how much they want to put into some of their priorities. But it is, and please do not misinterpret this as trying to pass the buck to other people. This is our budget. I'm recommending it to you with the warrants and the caution that we can do better over the next 10 days. And that's what my hope is.
All right. Well, I thank you very much for your explanation for that. Colleagues, we are down to a crunch time. As we know, the concern is if this budget goes past July 1st, we have a problem. And yet we have spent months, and I won't put blame on any one group. I think both sides are guilty of this. We have spent months out talking to people, our constituents, and trying to market ourselves without doing the work of the people, in my opinion. I hope that next session, next year, we get these very difficult subjects taken care of early. So if we run into roadblocks, the stress and the pressure of the time commitment and the time frames don't hinder us from doing the best job possible. Whenever you procrastinate and wait till the end for whatever reasons you might have, you will not get the best product, whether it's in school or at work or here in the Capitol. So I would ask once again, please be more expedient next time so that we don't have to have this time crunch. Thank you.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, return to the Senator from Polk, Senator Hatch, for final remarks on Senate File 542.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, colleagues. My ending and final comments are going to be a little different, because I think I've used all of my energy and all of my wind the past 20 minutes responding to some of your explicit and some pertinent questions. So I want to just, in a calm way, provide you with an image of what this bill represents. It acknowledges that this state continues to care about children's health. It acknowledges that we have new ways of administering federal programs. It acknowledges a reduction in FTEs and staff that have direct services to our citizens in every part of the state. It means services will be slower. Some services will not be accessible. And some people will be hurt by it. But it also means, and it's an acknowledgement, that we have members of this state government that will not work 40 hours a week to fill the gaps. They will work 50 hours. They will work on weekends. We have providers, nonprofit organizations, that will open up their doors and include more people into their facility and provide services that they won't get reimbursed for, because their job is not to look at our budget. Their job is to provide the services. And in this state, we have providers that will do that. We have hospitals that will continue to provide free care, not because it's a federal law, because they know that they're committed to doing that in their community. We will have doctors, nurses, pharmacists that will go out of their way. But you know, you can't ask them to do that forever. At a time when we have higher unemployment, we have more parents working 2-income jobs, we have more children staying home alone. We should provide the services so that parents feel the security that they can get daycare for their kids. They can get quality care for their children. We're not providing that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not like a transportation bill where we're worried about contractors paving another mile of road. This is about families staying together. This is about people who believe that government is there to help them. And when they say government, I don't mean state government or even local government. They see their Irely Ball mental health system as a public service. They see that as government because we fund it and they're publicly oriented. They see their community centers as government because that's what they know. You see it as bureaucrats. People see it as wasted money, duplication of services. But that's not what Iowans see it as. When a wife and a husband are rushing home to their house after work, knowing that their children are there alone, has consequences. Or letting a neighbor take care of their children who they don't really know that well, but it's convenient, has consequences. So this bill is not our best effort. We don't have much time to correct it. We can do better. I want you to know that even though there are statements made throughout this year about any one of these programs that we have in this bill, from family planning to mental health, we all have our opinion. But in the end, I'm asking you to work harder to make this a better bill. Because I will promise you, if this bill comes back $1 less than it has today, I will not be standing in front of you asking you to pass that bill. In that case, Senator Dix, Senator Chilgren, I will get up and say, don't vote for it. Because I know this is the very last attempt to provide the security that our families require. And some of those families, all of those families, are taxpayers too. So with that, Mr. President, I ask this be read for the third time and placed on its passage.
The senator from Polk, Senator Hatch, moves Senate File